My name is Mireille Toulekima. I'm coming to you all the way from Perth, Australia. And today I really want to reflect on my life and the thing that I've accomplished so far. And one of the questions that I want to ask you, have you felt some fear in your life, at any point in your life? And what was your reaction? Did you freeze or did you feel the fear and did it anyway? So for me, it's about feeling, my life has been about feeling the fear, but doing it anyway. And I'm going to explain, to you what it's all about. So, like I said, my name is Mireille Toulekima. I am based in Perth, in Australia, but I was born in a country called Gabon, in West Africa, on the west, on the equator. And I grew up in Gabon, did my, primary, all my schooling up to secondary school. And after secondary school, I was sent boarding in France, in a family. So that was the first step in my life to experience fear, but also experience, living with people that are different from me, look that are not, the same race, are not, in the same race as me, who are completely different, different culture, different environment, and different way of thinking. So the first thing, obviously, as you can imagine, was fear. But I managed to use this fear to be able to accomplish a lot. So I move into this this family, uh, live with them for 6 years, and they became parents for me. They became my second parents, and to a point where after 6 years. I didn't realize that I didn't see the difference that we had. Yes, we had different races. They were white. I was black. Yes, they were coming from a different culture. I was coming from a very rooted and also with a very modest, background in Gabon, and they were a middle class family, who actually had, almost everything, grew up with everything, had everything set up for them. So I managed to navigate that, and study there. It came, with a lot of challenges because obviously the racial issue was a factor, on at school, even in society at that time, especially back in France at that time. They didn't, they didn't have a lot of black people going to, living in white neighborhood. It has changed since. So it was a big challenge, but it didn't deter me. So I managed to study, do well, and then go to university. And in university, it was the same challenges. I did, most of my university in France. In So I moved. I did my primary school, not my primary school, my secondary school in uh, in in Nantes, which is the western part of France, and then move to the west moved to actually the southern part of France, and it was a different challenge because now I didn't have the family structure that I had, in with my second family. I had to learn how to find my way. I had to work while I was studying, while I was going to uni. So it was a big challenge because sometimes I had to work very late, and I had exam, that I had to manage. And I didn't, I actually failed my first year of university, and it was a big drama with my family back home because they were supporting me financially, especially my dad. And it was an heavy burden because, like I said, I was coming from a very humble beginning. My parents didn't have a lot of money. So it was a big burden for me to actually not succeed, this first year. university, and luckily, it was this challenge actually boost me to do more and to do better. I had a scholarship that I lost, and so that's why I had to work even more, to be able to earn money and to help my parents who actually had limited income to dedicate to me so that I could continue, studying. So this part went really well. I managed to finish, to have my bachelor in science in information technology, and just days before I graduated to get my bachelor, my dad passed away. And my dad was really the breadwinner. He was really the one supporting, the one sending money, the one he was my role model because in the family, if I chose, to do something related to science, it was because of my father. My father coached me to uh, to to love science. He coached me to let me know that science was a very important subject, and it's because of him that I actually started to believe that I could make it in the science and in what we call now the STEM industry. So that passed away. It was a very difficult period. And why? Because now I wanted to continue after my bachelor, but I didn't have enough money. I was working odd jobs and I was trying to find a job, newly graduates trying to find a job couldn't find one. And luckily, I had an opportunity, so an ad to get a job in the oil and gas industry back in my country of origin in Gabon. I was hesitant first, and because my background was in IT, so I didn't really know anything about the petroleum industry, the oil and gas industry, whatever was linked to energy. But uh, what I just took my chance, and I was encouraged. I started to inquire what was the profile that they were looking for. And I just realized they just wanted people who had, done science, and this company had, a training center, and where they could train, they could train the new graduate, and help them to understand the oil and gas sector, and really make them up to speed to become real, petroleum engineer. So I took my chance, went for the interview, and I was actually retained to get the job as a graduate for that multinational company that was operating in Gabon. And so my English was, because one of the criteria that they actually were looking for was the speaking English. Back then I didn't speak English. So it was really, really, I took my chance with the little bit of English that I was speaking. I managed to get a spot and to get hired. So I got hired, and like they said, I got training, so basic training, 6 month training into the oil and gas industry, and also got, a support in terms of, language. So had accelerated English lesson, and I managed to catch up in terms of, learning about the industry, but also in terms of the languages. But it was not easy because I was not really fluent in English, despite the fact that I was smart. I was smart. I was understanding the industry. I was putting all the effort, but because I was not speaking the language, I was viewed as someone who was still incompetent. So I was not associated to all the big projects, and left behind, to a point where I started almost, left the industry because I was focusing all my attention on the fact that I was not only trained to be in that industry, I was also a Black woman, and I was a woman, I was a Black person and I was a woman in an industry that was actually predominantly male dominated, but predominantly back then, 25 years ago, white male dominated. And I had the chance to get, a great mentor. My second boss at that time was an American lady who actually saw the potential in me and really started to coach me, started to push me to focus on the positive, on the value that I could bring in that industry. And as soon as I became to, I started to believe in myself, despite, the challenges that I had, despite the gaps that I have, I started to see a breakthrough. I started to see myself, going after what I saw was very important for me to develop, us to be included in projects, and also push myself, put a plan together, go understand that I needed mentor, I needed sponsor, people who could speak for me in rooms where I was not there. And that's when the breakthrough started. So I managed to have an incredible career, worked, in Africa, worked in Europe, worked in Asia Pacific, and now work in Australia. And it's been, more than 25 years now. And so the breakthrough has happened. And one of the things that I had in my head is because I didn't have a lot of role model at that time, I didn't come across a lot of role model who looks like me. I decided to become the leader and the role model that I was looking for. So it has been an amazing journey, path with challenges, path with obstacle, but I wouldn't change anything, so far because it's just I'm just so inspired by my own story, and I really want any woman, any young professional, anybody who feel like they don't have power, who feel like they don't have a way, who are scared, to feel this fear and do it anyway, and get and get to dream big and to go uh, after their dreams. And some of the lessons that I've learned so far through this career and through this journey, I've put it in a book that I published in 2016 called Stepping into Your Greatness, 12 Rules for Building an Outstanding Life. This book is basically a summary of the key learning that I've actually picked up, through my journey from a young woman from with a humble beginning, from knowing nothing from the industry, the oil and gas industry, and to being completely empowered and being a reference now, a global reference in that industry. And so I thought that it would be beneficial for to anybody in the world who feel like they have been left behind, who feel like they don't have the opportunity, who actually looking at the door that is closed. It's the opportunity for them to understand that those rules that have worked for me, I'm gonna work for them. So it is important that they understand that those rules are gonna be the key thing. If they just follow this blueprint, that the rules that are defined in this book, if they follow this blueprint, there's no way they can, there's no way they cannot succeed. So some of the rules, one of the biggest rule of those 12 rules, I'm going to give you some key of them. So it's the first one that we really need to understand is to believe that we have greatness inside of us. We need to believe that that's the first thing, to believe in ourselves, believe in our potential, believe that we have a special gift, and this special gift will be the rock on which we're going to build everything that we're going to do. It will be the rock on which we're going to build the dream, the big dream that we have, in our mind, and it will come with making sure that we have a plan, making sure that we decide to follow this plan. And a key thing as well is to understand that the plan is there, but we also have to allow, space for other people to guide us. It can be people who are senior to us, can be people who are actually at the same level of us. We need what we are calling this book uh, 360 network that will help us to move forward. And we shouldn't believe that we can do it on ourselves. It doesn't work like that. And a key thing as well is to understand that we need to continue to learn. We have to be long life learners and continue to learn and continue to be ahead, especially when we are a minority, especially when we feel like we are the only one that look like us. We need to be ahead. We need to be ahead of everyone. Start getting, the trainings that are needed for us to be ahead. Raise our hands to be in the project that are going to put us ahead. It's not always the project that everybody wants, but we can, take those challenging projects and make them a success. And when we do that, people don't look anymore at our, physical appearance. They don't look at our gender anymore. They don't look at, at the color of our skin. They look at the result and what we bring on the table. And that's what's going to make the breakthrough. That's what's going to bring us to the next level. And it's important that we understand that we have to be our own branding, branding person. We have to be our own marketing, agent. Because even if we are the best, even if we are, we deliver whatever we deliver, we need to be visible and we need to tell people who we are. We need to tell people what we've accomplished so that people understand where we stand, people understand who we are, people understand the value we bring, and people really look at us, according and treat us according to the value that we bring. So these are really strong lessons that I wanted to share here, and I hope that you will be able to feel the fear wherever you are, feel the fear and do it anyway. That you will be able to dream big and to know that whatever the obstacle, whatever is gonna come your way, you're gonna get there. Yes, the obstacle are there. Yes, the setbacks are there. But as long as you have the energy, as long as you continue to learn, as long as you continue to look for the support, the sponsorship, the mentorship, as long as you believe that you can go to the next level, that's what's going to propel you to become what I call a greatness engineer. Greatness engineer means someone who actually uh, uh, strive to become the best version of themselves, and someone who is always looking to go to the next level of greatness. And that's the way. That's my philosophy. For me, it's about not leaving anything on the table of life, because as long as we are alive, as long as we keep dreaming, we have an opportunity to go to the next level. And that's the type of spirit I want you to have in everything that you do, in anywhere that you are, anywhere that you are. That's really the spirit that I want to leave you with. Don't leave anything on the table of life. So again, my name is Mireille Toulekima. I'm based in Perth, in Australia. I'm an engineer, an award-winning engineer. I'm a global entrepreneur, and I call myself the energy and STEM. STEM standing for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. I'm an energy and STEM diplomat. So if you want to reach out to me, I'm everywhere on every single platform on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, X, um, Pinterest, you name it. My name is quite unique, Mireille Toulekima. You can reach out to me if you want to know more about me, or even if you want to know more about the 12 rules for building an outstanding life to step into your greatness. Thank you for the opportunity to share with you, and I hope you're gonna keep going to the next level of your greatness.